Well, guess what, PB? We're starting early.
Ahsoka just got into the room and grabbed that guy's hand.
Is she dead yet?
Yeah, she died. Oh shit! Was that spoilers? Welcome everybody. oh, Abrams, you're hitting them out of the park today. Anyways, welcome everybody to the Fandom Zone. It is good to see y'all. Y'all know I got the Filoni gear on, the hat. My beard is looking Corona free. It is a great day. General Zod's actually in a really good mood. Good thing I have nothing to be angry about this episode because I don't even think I'd be able to be angry. Anyways, welcome everybody. We got Gary North in here. I guess the count will catch up later because StreamYard sucks, and I will go down and introduce panelists while we wait for people to join. First, the man who sat through the most horrible movie out of the first three Star Wars. And I mean, the first half is horrible, and I've never seen you laugh that hard. Mr. LB, tell us about how much you don't like sand.
Man, I mean, I don't want to get into a whole conversation about me watching that movie, but I have to say, like, I didn't remember any of that movie. Like, I remember the big parts of the movie, but like smaller stuff like that, I had no clue that happened. So like when I heard him say I don't like sand, like I legit am not exaggerating. That was like the first time hearing it for me.
Oh my god. This guy.
Like wow, man. Whoa.
Yeah, man.
Like I
was laughing with you. I forgot about that shit. I was laughing so hard because you started laughing, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, this is funny."
Man, like that was unbelievable. Just hearing this man say that, and it's like George Lucas. Like, come on, bruh. Like, what was so hard for you to find someone that can write a screenplay properly, man? Like, golly. I don't like sand. Next thing you know, they're having sex.
Yeah, because she didn't have any sand on her.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh man, let me tell you, if you folks haven't seen it, you have to watch LB's watch along. It was hilarious commentary. I had a great time. I'm sitting there watching it, and Bitchy's next to me. She goes, "Why are you watching Star Wars again?" I go, "First, you never ask how many times you can watch classic cinema, okay? Star Wars is one of those movies I can watch continuously. Secondly, I don't need your negative energy. Who doesn't like classic Star Wars? Ugh, communists and hippies. That's who." Or SJWs. Yeah, that's the latter.
No lie, man. Like I'm not trying to promote myself, but it's fun like rewatching the movies and like interacting with other people, man. Like I promise you, like I always liked episode 1 and like episode 2. I thought it was like the last half was great and then the first half was boring. But like, man, I enjoyed watching those movies so much more. Like when I'm interacting with people.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Watching it and hearing your commentary and stuff. It was some great stuff, and I'll tell you, I liked the first half, like the assassination attempt, but once they get to Tatooine, it's just like the movie grinds to a fucking halt. Right. There's so much nonsensical shit said.
Like I'm watching this, I'm sitting there saying to myself, hold on, why did I keep saying this movie was boring? Like, cause like all that stuff with, the assassination, I'm like, all right, this is cool. And then once it got to the, the love stuff, I'm like, oh, now I remember.
Yeah, man, I might actually watch Solo now that, you're doing it. I might I have to see what you're going to say.
Like, you ain't got to watch the movie to watch LB.
I just gotta know the scenes he's talking about because I hate not getting a visual aid to get the joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I have a feeling that's gonna be hilarious.
I mean, I guess one thing I could do better is like explaining the scenes, like because sometimes like when I was doing it, some people's like, what scene are you at right now? But it's like, man, y'all seen the movie enough. You should know what I'm talking about.
Huh, really.
Yeah, especially the originals 1, 2, and 3. But first off, let me just welcome some people who jumped in here. Wookiee Supremacy, good to have you. Gary North's been in here. The Senate joined us. Good to have you, Senate. And Curtis, welcome, Curtis. And of course, the person who just probably literally finished the episode, Pop Culture PB. What's up?
Yeah, I did finish the episode. I was still watching it when we went live. It was good.
Oh, I got so many thoughts. I can't wait. It's just been a good week. Clone Wars was good.
I don't need to know what you're watching on your screen.
My man K-Log is ready, man. Like he's ready to talk about this again.
Oh,
I
yeah,
actually get to have a real conversation with him this time because I didn't show up 45 minutes late.
Yeah.
AOPP. Dude, I'm excited. This is, I was starting to think it was the Filoni Baloney show, and now I'm starting to rekindle my love for him and this man, what he's done with this episode. I'm so excited to talk about this.
Oh yeah, and don't worry, I'm gonna bring up some stuff that has to do with Filoni after we get done talking about the episode and get a logical opinions from a logical panel. So all sorts of fun stuff we're gonna be
from
doing.
us three, and then you're going to say something.
Yes, of course. I said the logical panel, not the logical Zod.
Yeah, that would be an oxymoron.
It certainly would. So let's just dive right into this. Let's get into this. This episode was amazing. And before we start highlighting just the awesomeness within this episode, first off, I want to talk about, get your thoughts, what you liked about the episode. I'll start with LB. What was your favorite scene? What'd you like? What stood out for you in this episode in particular?
My favorite scene was with Ahsoka. Who was it? Rex said, I didn't bring a jetpack, and she was like, I don't need one. Then she goes out, hops out the plane, Captain America style, and does her thing, man. Does her thing without the jetpack. I was like, man. And the man, we'll get to the animation later, but man, I just have to say, man, that was my favorite scene.
Oh yeah, that was like just OG Clone Wars right there with them hopping along stuff. Yeah, they've done that before, like hopping off of planes, hopping on giant objects, rocks, whatever it may be, and going from one place to another, fighting their way as they go. It felt very much Clone Wars. Yes. What about you, Mr. Pop Culture PB?
Well, to me, I thought it was pretty amazing that in an episode that is, I would say, mostly action. I mean, for the love of God, they start the episode in, let's say, the previously on or the setup or whatever the hell you want to call that. There's action in that scene. Like, there's shit blowing up all over the place. And still, my favorite scene was when Ahsoka walked into whatever room all of the troops were in, and all of their helmets were painted like, I guess, her skin or her
skin color.
Her skin color and the shapes that she has on it. I was like, wow, guys, you damn near made me fucking cry in an episode of Clone Wars because I was not expecting that.
And what's funny about that too is like he even said it. This is kind of crude doing this. I laughed at that.
Yep.
Yeah. Could you say, PB, would this be a moment where we can use the famous emotional weight? There was a lot of emotional weight.
That had all of the emotional weight. Like, I was not expecting them to have something of that. I thought that the biggest moment in the episode was going to be her and Anakin reconnecting, and it was a pretty big moment. But when that happened, I was like, holy shit. Damn, guys, I wasn't expecting you to do that. I was just expecting all of them to, like, she opened the door and they all have a salute, and then whenever she saluted back, because that's what they set up as they're walking down the hallway. He's like, yeah, they just salute out of respect because they respect you. And I was like, oh, well, she's going to, like, run into a whole bunch of them or something like that, and they're all going to salute her, and she's going to get all of her feels in. And they opened that door, and I was like, oh, my God. They went all out for her.
Yeah, that was great because it showed a new depth to the clones and their ability to pay homage and remember the leaders and the generals that they like. And even though she's been gone for a while, they still had that respect and admiration for everything that she's done within the Clone Wars universe. And Mr. Abrams, aka K-Log, what was your favorite moment? What got you? What either the feels or just hyped?
Yeah, I shed one tear, almost of the part PB's talking about when we see Ahsoka get the tribute by the clone troopers. But just after that, when she gets her lightsabers, I loved that part of the scene so much. And I liked how just moments after that, we get the philosophical debate between her and Obi-Wan Kenobi, about what's the righteous thing to do. I thought that was so telling of their whole story, and a beautiful way to show the two sides of the coin. But when she turns on her lightsabers and we hear that hiss, that was such a professional sound effects. It sounded, or maybe it's just I miss lightsaber sound effects. I miss lightsabers, and it was just great to see her get her lightsabers back. I loved it.
Oh, you definitely missed the lightsabers. It had been 4 episodes.
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't. It wasn't the same. I guess we saw Anakin fighting, in the Bad Batch, but it wasn't the same.
I have a weird part that was my favorite. I do like all the moments you guys talked about, but what I liked was it felt like them coming full circle, because as they're all talking, I like the scene where they're about to go, like Anakin and Obi-Wan are about to very begrudgingly help them with this mission, and then all of a sudden he gets a communication that Coruscant has been hit and Palpatine has been taken. And I was like, oh, nice way to bring it full circle. I like little shit like that where they start to bring up things that are interconnected. And I like them being like, oh, they were over here, and that's where they left from, and that's why in the beginning, because in the beginning of episode 3, it just shows them heading towards the shipyard or whatever, you know what I mean, the battle with all the ships in space.
Yeah,
and I like that they
dropped out of hyperspace and they're flying over a cruiser.
Yeah, and I like when they do stuff where they're like, okay, they're making it obvious. This is the moment right here where they get the transmission. And then if you watch the Micro Clone Wars series, you see where they were actually at Coruscant and they tried to stop them, but it was too late, and Mace Windu crushed his chest. I like when they make things that connect, so that if you watch this all together, it's like you're watching one linear story and all of the pieces are fitting in together. And I think it was not forceful. It was very subtle, cool way to bring us back to episode 3, where this is all coming to a head, and to tie this all together. I thought that was a very cool little detail that, most writers don't put that much kind of thought into it. Like, all right, we're promoting this as the final season. What's going to connect this story to the rest of them? I thought that was very well done. So,
well, I thought they hit it in that aspect. I thought they hit it out of the park right off the beginning when we see Plo Koon and Aayla Secura pretty much in the same spots that we see them die in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I didn't realize that the first time watching it, but I did watch the episode again right before we started talking, and that was like I noticed. I was like, man, oh, that's so cool. Because and right. Not only that, I didn't realize until like halfway through the episode that this was going on at the same time as episode 3. So that's when like it hit me, and I was like, oh my goodness, like what is going on? Right, this is amazing.
Hell yeah, LB. But it's like they even tell you, they're like, we're an hour away. So
Yeah.
Obi-Wan says we're an hour away from Coruscant. So this is taking place an hour before the battle of Coruscant.
Yeah, man. Amazing stuff, man. And that's one issue I have with me, like live streaming when I'm doing a watch along or something new. I miss little details because I'm paying attention to what's going on in the stream and stuff. So like watching it the second time around, like I caught up on all the stuff I missed the first time. It's like, man, this is greatness.
Yeah, for real. And plus,
Yeah.
I'm usually drinking so much when I first see it at midnight on Clone Wars that
Yeah.
I don't remember it, and then I have to rewatch it like 3 times.
Yeah, for like 25 minutes, it's really hard to get every little detail in. You almost got to watch it again. I watched it one more time whilst I was walking with the girl because apparently I'm a fat ass and I have to get off the couch. Inside joke. There's nothing fat about this guy. But anyways, so I'm sitting there walking, watching it. Yeah. PB knows the joke. She's like, okay, fat ass, we're going for a walk.
That's
I was
not
like,
what
all
I'm
right.
laughing about. I'm laughing about what you said.
Yeah.
You said nothing fat about this guy. A man should never say that about himself.
Right, PP.
Oh, the banter is real. So, so we'll do a little setup here. We're coming full circle now. This is the first time that that these characters have been together since Ahsoka walked away from the council. So it was nice to see them all together. And I gotta say, and I want to get your guys' idea. What do you guys think about how Obi-Wan was acting towards Ahsoka? I thought that was actually pretty awesome, where he's like, well, you're not a part of the council, so you're not a general anymore for the army.
Hey,
so
Kenobi's a total company man.
Yeah, he definitely is. 100%.
I like that about him, though. You're right.
yeah, like it's so awesome because I feel like you get a lot of character development. You really start to see, and this leads to episode 3, right? He has such faith in the Republic and what they're doing, right? And it's a stark contrast where Anakin's kind of loose with the way that he proceeds with the rules. We've seen that in the movies, right? He plays around with the rules and what he can get away with, where Obi-Wan is very much like, hey, this is the orders. These are the guidelines. They're in place for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, Anakin's ready to be like, yeah, let's make her a general. Give her clones. We'll give her ships. You could go and fuck stuff up. And Obi-Wan's like, no, hold on. She's not a part of the Republic Army anymore. Pump on the brakes.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I thought it showed a lot about his character, and you're already seeing the differences in their attitudes. And I loved that opening scene with Anakin because I liked how he's very much more calm in the battlefield, right? And he pulls off that gambit with saying, yeah, I'm surrendering. I thought all of that was pretty fun. What do you guys think about that opening scene and like his demeanor? Doesn't he seem different from where we started in the very first season of Clone Wars all the way up till now, and in how he approached his things and stuff? There's a little bit of growth there.
I'll let y'all go first because I got some feelings about this.
I do too.
Oh, all right.
He's
Go ahead,
supposed
PB.
to be. I mean, in episode 3, it says that his powers have doubled. So over the course of the Clone Wars, I would assume that everything has doubled, and that would include his arrogance.
For me, it's because I watched episode 3 last night. So like, for me, even though like he was kind of cocky in like the opening scene of episode 3, I feel like this episode is too close to the movie. So it's like he's a little too jokey and peppy for me compared to the movie. So it's like, okay, how are we going to get from this Anakin that is so overconfident and joking around to the Anakin that is having the eyeshadow makeup and so moody, depressed, and angry in episode 3.
What do you mean? He's joking around in episode 3 when they crash at the beginning. He's bantering with R2.
What I think though is that this came off to me, albeit as very Disney, Anakin's portrayal. But let me say real quick, I fucking loved our introduction to Obi-Wan. You know, when he does the hero's landing, it's like a beautiful shot of his beard and the lightsaber. That was so cool. But I was kind of annoyed by Anakin's character here just in this beginning part. I thought it was a little too Disney. I thought they were like trying to give him extra male white privilege. Nothing can happen to him. He was kind of arrogant. Like, dude, he's just going to sit there while bolts are flying by his head like nothing's going to hit him. And then I was waiting for him to do the dance from Guardians of the Galaxy like he's Chris Pratt in front of the robots. I thought that was just kind of plumb dumb, in my opinion.
Ooh, very intriguing. Good, very good thoughts, ideas. I liked it, but I like arrogance.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, LB.
No, I was saying I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it, but it's like for me, like watching episode 3 last night and then watching this episode again, it's like there's a big difference between the characters.
Yeah, because he seems dumb here. In my opinion.
Well, what's the difference? But see, there's a difference between dumb and just cocky. I would classify it more cocky because he had the troops set up underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
Like the ambush already set. He had everything positioned. So I'd say he's more confident as a villain. I would say he's more confident in his abilities to control the battlefield.
I'd agree with you if we were talking about Revenge of the Sith, but I think he's confident in Revenge of the Sith. I think he's kind of dumb in this. He seems like, and that's not just this scene. Like even when he first meets Ahsoka, he's just like a little puppy dog.
Yeah, and in the movie, even though he acts completely lame in like his emotions and stuff at times, this is like, it seems like two different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could give you that. It definitely has that, and this is, it has that Disney feel to it that they do with their characters at times, where they try to make them overly lighthearted.
And I mean, I understand that. Okay, one is a movie that came out 15 years ago, and this is a cartoon animated. But it's like, you have the movie to base the character off, even though it's two different people doing the voice and stuff, but you should play it a little bit more closer to the movie is now, because it's going on at the same time.
Yep, that's true.
I couldn't agree more.
And
when he
welcome,
walked out
Rebels.
and said that there was 1,000 droids over there, I thought that he was going to go all micro series on them and do something epic, not just walk forward.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know.
I don't remember exactly what Mace Windu did, but I know that he killed like 1,000 droids all by himself. And Yoda took like a few thousand and just crushed them into a ball.
Well, they don't want to mess up the Golden Gate Bridge. It was clearly San Francisco they were at. I'm from San Francisco. It was obvious.
Okay, so that's what the bridge was reminding me of. Okay.
Yeah, down to the fog and everything.
Wookiee supremacy, I wouldn't say the soul of Star Wars is gone. I mean, not particularly in this show. Maybe in general.
This episode had the heart of Star Wars. Would you say so?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. 110%.
I mean, and for me, like, I'm a lonely man. I mean, I lack empathy and all that. So, like, when people talk about the heart of Star Wars, it's like, I don't understand that. Like,
Right.
seriously, that's just me personally. When people talk about the heart, I don't understand it at all. And
I do.
The heart of Star Wars. What
it's a
did you
nostalgia
feel when Ahsoka walked into that room, LB?
Huh? What did I feel?
Yep.
No, seriously, like moments like that, it's like you feel like a kid. You get that warm, fuzzy
That's
moment.
it. That's
It's
what
like,
we're talking about, love.
Right, like when you're watching a cartoon and then the good guys are about to win in the last act of the show and you're getting all smiley and warm. Yeah, like, but I'll tell you this: watching this, it felt like I was watching the prequels. When I'm watching the sequel trilogy, I don't feel this way. So like, Clone Wars hasn't changed, man. Yeah, you feel like there's some Disney stuff in it, but like this is Star Wars is what we're watching.
Yeah, this episode, not the last 8, in my opinion.
Trace's Bay.
Oh my God.
No. I would have to say, the Bad Batch arc and then this one episode, the middle part for me, it is a hit or miss, mainly a miss now that they're all together. But still, I would say the show flows a lot better than most stuff. And I would say that this is, at least I feel like I'm watching a Star Wars product as opposed to the sequel trilogies. And I've actually been reading the comic books to do a review on them.
Oh my God.
For the Prophets of Geek Culture. Go check that channel out if you haven't. There's a person on the panel who's part of that. So yeah, shameless promotion. Anyways, but yeah, I've definitely felt more of the Star Wars vibe. The thing is with Disney, here's the problem. It feels like there is a conflict within the Force. And that is, Star Wars had a unique feel in the beginning, as I'll be quoted with the different, the prequels and the original trilogies, right? They all had a different vibe. And then Disney as a company has a certain vibe. And I think you get competition even within a show that's closer to Star Wars, like Clone Wars. You get competition because of the competing tones, okay? There's someone there saying, hey, you can do what you want to do, but it's got to fit within this mold. And you can see where the writers and the people making the Clone Wars are fighting an uphill battle, right? We can all agree on that just by the tone of the way the show is. It's kind of fluctuates all over the place at times, and you can really feel where they're struggling to try to hit a balance between what Disney probably wants and then what they want the show to be. And it's a tough juggling act.
I just feel like, man, people just keep on with this I hate Disney stuff, because like, I mean, me watching this, like I said, man, a lot of Disney movies, for example, these remakes, the sequel trilogy, like you just watch them and they just you feel nothing watching them. They feel empty and hollow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel.
Oh, I feel stuff when I watch them.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, for example,
I do.
You watch Beauty and the Beast and this Lion King remake, and it's like, compared to the originals, it's like there's nothing here. But like, man, like watching the Clone Wars, like,
comment on that.
Yeah, for like watching the Clone Wars, like I know some people don't like, the last arc, but like for me watching this, I'm back in the Clone Wars world. The world I enjoyed watching for so many years. Every single Friday night it came out. So it's like,
hell yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah, it feels like 2015.
Yeah, man. This ain't no Disney Star Wars mess where it's just like, man, there's nothing here. Absolutely nothing.
No, dude, I hella agree with you, LB. I mean, I've loved the entirety of the Clone Wars, give or take 2 arcs, and the Rafa Martez sisters one could be one of them. But also, I mean, now that I've seen where we got into through this episode, I could have taken maybe 1 episode instead of the whole 4-story arc to get to where we're at.
Absolutely.
Yep. It seemed
seemed
like they used that entire 4-episode arc so that Ahsoka could say that one line to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And you know what? That line, I know we hate The Last Jedi, but it made me think of that throwaway line. Not Luke. I don't even remember, but like it reminded me of Rise of Skywalker when they were just like, you know what, The Last Jedi don't even matter. Like they had a bunch of throwaway lines in the movie, and that kind of reminded me of Ahsoka in this episode. She was like, "Look, man, people, we're breaking the fourth wall here. That last arc, it was whatever. We in business right now."
Hey, can I ask you guys the question though? Do you think that, I mean, just from this episode alone, it seems to me they put their heart and soul into this. I'm hoping this arc, and if they, I can forgive the last arc if they have really given all this energy to make this the greatest thing they can, But I'm also like, well, why aren't all these a Lucasfilm production, limited production?
Yeah.
What was up with that?
Yeah, man, this is a great question because I wanted to talk about this. And that's why I mentioned earlier when I was going to get into the animation. Like, it feels like someone put this into my ear the other night, but it feels like, they did this slow burn of whatever of the season to lead up to this moment. Because, like, you watch the episode, you look at the animation compared to the rest of the episodes. Like, the animation in the previous episodes were great. But, like, this one, like, I was just amazed at watching it earlier on. And it's like, man, like, the way they're moving is so seamless. Like, if you watch previous Clone Wars episodes, sometimes when they're walking, it seems herky-jerky. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it's gotten better over the years. But, like, man, this one, it looks like real people are moving in this episode.
So, I got to ask this question to PB.
Hold on. How you going to switch the question after our guest asked the question? Like,
oh,
wow!
Because I don't know how to transition. Continue.
Wow,
you could transition to a freaking answer.
Yeah.
God dang. No, I would be inclined to agree. Like, just the simple walking down the hallway, the old Clone Wars, you would see like the flicking of legs and arms, whereas now you see the smooth motion. And I don't know what it takes as an animator to get the difference between the two, or how much extra time they spent on these episodes compared to the other ones. But yeah, when you watch Ahsoka do her Captain America move getting down to the planet, that was pretty fucking impressive.
Right. And then, like, it wasn't a one shot for it, but like a lot of the shots when she was, jumping out, like doing what she was doing, it wasn't like half a second and then it cuts to something else. It was like going through transitions before it cuts to the next part. I was like, man, this is just moving so fluidly. Like, man, I was amazed by it. Like, you could tell they put so much effort into that episode, and I'm just in awe. Like, I can't even imagine what they got in store for the rest of the season.
See, but I'm grateful, right? But then part of me, this is like a metaphor for Star Wars. I like the dark side of me wants to be like, what the fuck, guys? Obviously, you know how to make the shit I want.
Right.
You choose not to do it intentionally, obviously. And then the light side of me is like, just be happy that you're getting you got to see your old friend Star Wars again. So I'm conflicted.
Hey, you have more than the right to do that, because it's like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you giving us this is like going from watching Mandalorian to watching like, I know we hate the new Star Wars movies, but like, come on, like, they don't compare when it comes to the cinematography, graphics, and all that. It's like going from the Mandalorian to watching The Last Jedi. It's like, bruh, why didn't you do this the entire season with the animation and all that stuff? Like, you could tell they put so much effort into this episode. This is like that magnum opus of the season.
Well, why did we only use Star Wars music in this one?
Yeah, it's like
it makes me think that they're gonna sell this as a hard copy on Blu-ray or something.
Oh, oh. No doubt. You make a good
like
point
the
there.
Siege of Mandalore on Blu-ray.
Man, you make a great point.
4K.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think of that before, because when I started it, I was like, what's going on with this intro? I've never, ever seen this before in any of the Clone Wars. And listening to you guys talk about it just now, I was like, well, shit, they're just going to take all this, smash it together, and it's going to be like the Siege of Mandalore feature film kind of, but it's a limited series or whatever it's said by Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could totally see them doing it. That would definitely be a highly
Now come with
profitable
a
thing.
little minifig of Ahsoka or Rex or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing that. And to answer your question, Kermit, I do feel like they have been sort of building it up to this ending. Like here, you know, here's my thing with endings. If this is a series finals, because we've had our conspiracy theory that they're going to do a part 2 to end the series, but if this is a series final, I'd rather that they do it opposite of what normal television shows do. Let's look at normal television shows. Will give you a good few opening episodes, right, to hype you up, and then you get to the final and it's shit, like 9 out of 10 times. I very rarely see series that leave off where you're completely satisfied. There's always a bitch, there's always a complaint and things like that. I'd rather they fuck up the beginning and then do a good ending than do a spectacular beginning, get my hopes up, and completely fuck the ending. I'm happy to have a good ending because the ending is the closure. It's what it's meant for you to be a fan all of this time. And I know everyone's probably here. I don't know what all y'all's favorite shows are that wrapped up, but you come to that show where you get to the ending, Game of Thrones, and you go, what the fuck did I invest like 8 years of my life into this for? I've literally lost all this time for nothing. It all meant nothing. So I'd rather you give me a shitty beginning,
right,
and then just hit a home run at the end, and I could be like, you know what? That was a rocky start, but fuck, that was a great ending. I am satisfied. My questions were answered. I mean, maybe not all of them, but I got what I needed, and I didn't waste my time. Yes, Senate, Breaking Bad, phenomenal ending. Probably I rank that as one of my favorite endings to a show of all time. That's a perfect example. Like, the beginning was kind of slow, but that ending was fucking amazing.
Dude, Zod, I got to get you on Monday nights. Me and Fanatics of Film, we review the Better Call Saul. Do you watch that one? It's another topic for another day, but
yeah, I watched that too. But yeah, we'll definitely talk. We'll talk about that. I love anything in the Breaking Bad universe. But
anyways,
yeah,
to your point, if you're telling a joke, you're supposed to save your best joke for last, right? And also, transitions are for transgenders. So.
Yeah. So
before you move on, I wanted to bring up the point because you kept mentioning the best for last. This episode, I think it was the longest Clone Wars episode ever. Because it was the runtime is 30 minutes. Obviously, it's not 30 minutes because the intro and the outro. But I had a thought that maybe these last few, they might go longer for the last few episodes. Like, who knows? We might get an hour finale because there's still a lot of ground to cover in the last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
I've heard that actually, LB, but I'm also praying that, like, if it is that long, I'd like to see into Revenge of the Sith from the cartoon point of view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
That's what we've all been hoping for. Some Order 66, like all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
And,
we
want to see Ahsoka's reaction to Order 66.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 episodes left, 20 minutes each. I don't think that would cover enough. So I'm hoping we get surprised with some longer episodes the rest of the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would definitely be down for that. And then we do an extended talk finally, because short episodes, it's always a shorter talk. But also some other cool things, and I gotta bring this up. Darth motherfucking Maul. Oh man, I don't know about you, but when I heard that voice and he stepped out of the shadows, I got goosebumps. The villain inside of me screamed. I yelled. My girlfriend told me to shut up. My mom told me to shut up.
No,
it was great.
Your girlfriend said, "Can you shut that little girl up in that room over there?" And you said, "Okay."
So, what did you guys think of the big reveal? Let's go down the line here. Who, just like your initial thoughts, and did you think that was a badass entry point for? I'm pretty sure everyone's favorite, not dead Jedi ever. And I even love the little plug from Obi-Wan where he's like, "I cut him in half, and he still lived." Like I was like, you did. Those elevator or those shafts. Where do they lead? How far down do they go? Anyways, LB, what do you think
They
of
go
the
all the
reveal?
way down.
What did I think? I actually liked like those corridor scenes at the end. It was real tense and suspenseful. There was a if I can remember, there was quite a few close-ups on the face and the eyes and stuff. And then the reveal, and it's like he's like, hold on. You're not supposed to be here. Obi-Wan's supposed to be here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, that felt like a big insult. He's like, wait, no, I got the noob. Where's the master Jedi? I was like, oh, if I was Ahsoka, I'd be a little bit offended because that's like someone being like, no, I don't want the apprentice or the little wannabes.
Yeah.
Where's the man? I was like, damn, he just like basically called you a novice. Like,
For sure.
She is.
He's like telling the
She's
Mandalorian,
still a Padawan.
handle my light work.
Yeah.
you basically, and when you think about it, he didn't show himself. That whole corridor scene, right, was just the rival Mandalorian group. So he surrounded her, and then he's looking, and he's like, I came out of the shadows for nothing. It's like waste of a reveal.
Well, I felt it was a mistake by them to have a woman lead the siege to begin with. You know, Bo-Katan, I don't like her character really, and I really couldn't stand when she was like punching guys in the stomach, the head guy, and he has on Mandalorian armor, and she's like 110 pounds, and she's just like punching his abs. You know. Anyways, that bothered me.
She learned how to punch and kill Bill.
Right.
To be fair, I do like the chick who's in Rebels, and she was pretty badass. And let's keep in mind the Mandalorians as a race. It doesn't matter if they're women or men; they go through the same training. And
yeah, but she's 110 pounds. No matter what, if you gave me a thing that she had the Force and she had Force power behind it, I'd be like, okay. But she's just a woman, and like, come on.
Right. If they go through the same training, that means he had the same training, so it's all still equal.
Yes, but I did see where she punched him. It was just below where the armor is, the big chest piece. It was right below where the center of that medal would be. I'm just speaking as a martial artist, so I found nothing wrong with the fight scene.
This brings back traumatic flashbacks for me of the Mandalorian when that girl with the chubby woman who looks like a bag of refried beans punches the Mandalorian like crazy in the head and knocks him out.
There's a difference between Gina Carretta and like a hand-drawn animation. I mean, she's a real deal fighter, so I would buy her beating up most men.
I wouldn't buy her beating up maybe your average man, but we're not talking about Gina Carano, the MMA fighter, versus Pedro Pascal. We're talking about a woman with no superpowers, with cut off arms, fighting a Mandalorian in armor.
But to be fair, she was trained.
She was a Republic commando.
Yeah,
maybe 60 pounds ago.
Hey, I love all of those 60 pounds, and you leave them alone.
I do too. Okay, if you were going to ask Burke Hertzer, would he fuck her? Obviously he would, but I'm a regular man.
I am also a regular man.
I mean, it ain't really bothered me. I actually liked the new Mandalorian's outfits, like the red and all that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool.
I like the mall ones. Were tight.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole rewatch when this season's over, and I can't wait to get back into the Mandalorian stuff because I mean those were some of my favorite arcs because I need to remember what's the guy's name, Alkern or Almard or something, the Mandalorian guy, the Prime Minister.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, douchebag.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, but, you know the Mandalorian, the one that like builds his armor, she has the horns on her head too. You think she's a Maul one?
Interesting. Maybe. Oh, his name's Almac. Almac.
You know what I'm talking about though?
The one that contacted him.
In the Mandalorian, the one that he goes to get his armor refilled. She has the little spikes on her head like the Darth Maul troopers.
It's
Oh
possible.
yeah, she did.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, she did. That's I didn't even think about that. And I gotta say, I liked that forger. I don't know who she was, but that was the most badass fighting ever. Like, I was very surprised though some of the stuff they showed in that fight scene. But yeah, I mean, I do get where you're coming from, Kermit, with that comment. I was like, yeah, I don't see her beating that guy. Also, considering too that I've seen episodes with that particular general when he took over Mandalore, and
No,
he
that's
was a
different guy.
badass.
That's a different guy.
Was it a different guy?
That guy got murdered by. You talking about the guy who got murdered by Darth Maul, the head of Death Watch? That's when Darth Maul
that's
took
right.
the Darth Saber.
Yeah.
This is just the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
But still, you figure if you're a Prime Minister in Mandalore, which is built on warrior, you'd have to be somewhat of a badass.
Yeah, man, he did look kind of too old to be fighting when he was doing his fighting moves. Like, he did that one front kick, and I was like, come on, bro. Everyone's doing, like, kick flips and
They got
things.
Joe Biden's out here. Joe Biden's out here, but in some flossy-ass armor, though.
He really
Hey,
was
man,
like...
Joe Biden could get every woman to turn away.
Yeah.
I like that. I do agree. Like, I will give you one thing, Kermit. The matchup seemed very uneven because you could tell he was like more of the politician Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I know how to fight, but I fight better with words than
Yeah. He's like, you don't have a tight ass pussy like your sister.
Whoa, I already yelled. Yeah, that could be why she's so angry.
You told me to be loose.
So we saw that, and like, who was stoked about the seeing some lightsaber action? This one, let me go down the line. What was your favorite use of the lightsabers in this episode? I'll start with LB.
My favorite usage of the lightsabers?
Yep. Which lightsaber scene did you like?
Definitely the jetpack scene. I mean, like, that was my favorite scene of the whole thing, man. Like, honestly, like, she was going to work, man. She was going to town on everybody. And then, like, for example, like, she got the clone out of the ship or the whatever they called it by using a lightsaber. She pierced the thing and then escaped. Like, man, putting some good use to it. And I like the music behind everything and the sounds and all that stuff. It's like, man.
Did you notice when she got the clone out, they had gotten the word out immediately, and he called her commander instead of general?
Yeah.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty good
man.
kick.
They follow orders immediately.
They posted on the clone Twitter account.
Yeah.
Comes up on the HUD inside the helmet. They're like,
hashtag commander. Yeah, right. Hashtag Ahsoka. Damn battalion. What do they call them though? Like, damn squad. Ahsoka squadron.
There you go.
Oh man. PB, I know this is gonna be tough for you. You're all about them lightsabers, man. What was your favorite lightsaber scene?
I mean, technically it's two, and it's the two simplest moments, I guess, with the lightsaber. I liked when Anakin killed the what do they call him? The battle droid that does the planning. What the hell they call him?
Not strategy.
There's something like that. Yeah, I like that part. He pulled him to him and just sliced his head off. And then I liked when after Ahsoka did all of her major moves to get onto the planet, she used both lightsabers to put on the brakes.
Oh yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that
pretty
was hilarious.
cool.
But I got a question. So these two lightsabers are not the lightsabers that she has in Rebels, correct? Because they look
No.
like a different hilt.
No, they're not. And the beams were white.
Well, I mean, with the way that Disney works now, that doesn't necessarily matter. If she changes, the crystal inside would change. So that's not the issue. But are they adjustable, or is that one always going to be short and the other one always going to be long?
Are you sure that they weren't always the short and the long one? Because I thought the same thing, but then I also double questioned myself, thinking maybe it was.
I
I don't know. I'm
didn't
rewatching
remember.
Rebels now. I'm not that far.
Because I thought in Rebels she has two full-size sabers.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And
I
they're
have
white
to.
the whole time.
I'm starting
But
at
I know
season
that the
1,
hilt
so-
is different because it has that cool etching in the side, and it's more of a whitish color to it. I think the etching is gold.
Mm.
I don't remember.
So unless she just upgraded it, a la, how Rey can just, duct tape a lightsaber together. So if you can do that with some force tape, I assume you can upgrade them too. Fuck.
Welcome, Nathan. Good to see you here. He says Gar
Hello, Mr.
Saxon
Coat.
looks so young in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so Freddie Prinze Jr., his character's in this. That you see it for a second. He's a young Padawan. Do you know that, Zod?
What?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Talking about
I noticed
Kanan?
that.
I noticed that today. Yeah.
When I
Where
first
was
saw it,
that?
I thought they were trying to incorporate a lesbian character for diversity, and then I realized it's just a young boy and it's him.
Where do they show him?
Right at the beginning when they're discussing, like when they're panning, it's a quick second, but they're talking about the Jedi Council convenes.
Oh, he's in the little intro blurb.
Right. I thought it was, a lesbian couple. but it was
Okay.
young Jedi. That guy.
I would have to
Yep.
rewatch it to notice that, because I missed that one.
Yeah, so there were a lot of little Easter eggs, and I was actually perusing around, reading some reviews from the noted critics on the internet. They were talking about all of the Easter eggs. So, what did you guys think about the Easter eggs that they put into this episode? And we've pointed out a few, but any that you guys noticed that maybe we didn't catch? Did you guys catch any little hidden things that you want to talk about that you thought was pretty cool?
I liked how they name drop Saul Guerrero.
yeah, they did right before.
Ahsoka contacts him. He's like, "Who is it, Saul Guerrero?" And I'm like, "That's cool." I know people don't love Saul Guerrero, but it's a cool just world building.
Yeah, absolutely. I like.
Why?
I like
Because he's
that.
black?
No,
Of
because
course.
he's doing another thing and it just incorporates it. But yeah.
Of course, that's the
And
only
he's-
reason I
he's
like
not
The
it.
even-
white
I'm not
guy
even
gives the
Puerto Rican.
reason, and the
I'm not-
black guy just goes, "Of course."
He might be Puerto Rican. I don't know. He might be Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's true.
Oh man, I don't think Forrest Whitaker is Puerto Rican.
Yeah, but he could play a Puerto Rican, right?
Anything's possible now. I mean, in
They
Puerto
fly now.
Rico,
They fly now. I was pissed off when there's 10,000 people in a space battle with air backpacks, and then we get in the Star Wars film. They fly now. I mean, Jesus Christ! There's been full on backpack wars.
Oh, you
my goodness.
you didn't like that?
Well, I didn't like the
Yeah,
they
but-
fly now comment. Now, in retrospect, when everybody flies,
Yeah,
That's
but
like saying-
nobody
that's like saying
reads.
they got
Nobody
iPhones now?
reads.
Well,
Nobody
I didn't like the
They just do what they're told. Nobody reads. Like, he was stolen as a little child and raised to be a janitor. All he knows how to do is clean toilets.
The janitor. I was like, oh, jeez. Yeah. So, yeah,
He's a
that was a
sanitation expert, man.
That
Oh.
he could be like a hitman, right? Sanitation. Take out the garbage.
That's true.
Hey, he's making a difference. Do you know what it gets like on those Star Destroyers if you don't clean up? I mean, my goodness, those floors and those hallways are immaculate.
Yeah,
Every scene.
They don't clean themselves. You think they'd have a droid?
Oh, yeah, no.
People, right?
Exactly, man. You don't.
They take the other guy and they turn him into a stupid teenager who's worried about some secret between two other people. Like, just be a fucking adult guy and don't give a shit. You're trying to have sex with Kerry Russell anyways.
Right.
So did LB, did you notice any Easter eggs we didn't pick up on?
No, I don't notice Easter eggs. I'm not that nerdy.
I picked up all of the Easter eggs last Sunday, guy. They've been consumed.
What about you, PV?
No, I didn't notice hardly any Easter eggs in this other than the ones that we talked about, which I guess is just like the name drops or the location or time drops relative to where the planets are. Like they said they got the Chancellor and they're an hour away from Coruscant, which I don't know if that means we're actually an hour away from the battle or if they're just saying they're an hour away from getting there in space. Like, if they wait another half an hour, then we'd be an hour and a half away from the start of the episode 3.
That's how I took it.
If they wait an hour to leave, it'd be 2 hours or something like that. Because he doesn't really set out the time frame.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
I just want to pull this up. Oh my God, Wookie, that's hilarious. He said, you'd think there'd be a droid for floors, but yeah, give the black guy the mop.
That's right.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So
hey,
let's go with that.
Can I just say one other last little thing that I liked was that at the beginning they're like, yeah, Shock T has been sent to guard the Chancellor. I'm like, yeah, that bitch is dead as fuck. I wish we would have seen that. I want to see that too, I wish we would have seen them. The fake kidnapping or the staging of the kidnapping of Palpatine would have been so more interesting than 4 episodes of the Martez sisters.
So man,
that's how she got killed, was by him getting kidnapped?
Well, she's dead at some point around now, right? I mean, she gets executed. I thought, she's taken, right? We don't know exactly how she dies because
I don't remember if she gets killed in episode 3.
She doesn't. She gets killed in 2 different of the cut scenes from the film. So there's no real definitive one, but yeah, she's dead.
Right, because the only thing I remember seeing her in outside of that is the first Force Unleashed video game, which it's a video game, so it's not in the movie universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's canon, though, right?
Who knows?
I don't believe so. I don't even think it was canon before Disney bought it. I'm definitely sure it's not now.
Yeah.
The only things that are canon is the Clone Wars TV show and anything that they've re-canonized since. Like, they can go and pick whatever they want because that's how they operate their business, I suppose.
Lame.
Well, that's what everybody gets all upset about. They're like, they can't use that person. It's not canon anymore. I was like, they can use whatever they want. They can take a character and make him completely freaking different and be like, hey, look at this freaking canon. It can blow up Star Wars now. Whatever.
Right on.
I'm enjoying the canon we're receiving right now.
Amen.
I would give this episode easily a 9.
I was just going to ask that. So What is your guys' rating? And PB started it off. It's a 9 out of 10 for Mr. PB.
Dude,
All right.
action feels, it had it all.
Nice. LB, where would you rate this?
10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely there with you. Mr. Abrams, where would you put this?
9.5.
Yeah, all right. So we got some solid 9s across the board. I'm going to go with 11. I'm giving this an 11 out of 10.
Woo!
Man, don't be that guy. Like I understand. Like we all excited. I'm asking for a rating out of 1 to 10. I got people giving me 5,000, 1 million. I'm like, bruh. I know we're having fun, but like right now we're doing a live stream. We're on a panel, bruh. We ain't finna, don't be somebody in the chat right now.
No, I go 10 out of 10. This was perfect for me for all the reasons that we said. We had action, you had drama, very, if any, slowdown in the episode whatsoever, which I appreciate. I like dialogue, but in a show like this, I like fast-paced dialogue. Because let's be real, this isn't going for an Emmy or whatever other bullshit they use to validate shows.
Why not?
Right. If this one should.
I mean,
This
you know,
is a limited series. Maybe that's another reason they're calling this part a limited series. They're going to nominate it for a different part of the Emmys. I don't know.
well,
They are
talking about making a non-binary category, so anything's possible.
No, that was a bad arc.
But no, I mean, yeah, this was very entertaining, good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and I agree with what we've mostly talked about. This is what they should have gone with, the kind of tempo that this episode has. They should have consistently gone with. But like I said, if they're going to keep this up for the end and they're going to go out with like grand slam, fireworks, explosions, bang, I'm thoroughly thrilled and excited, best ending ever, then hey, I'm glad that they had the shit in the beginning and they're giving us a good back half. I could live with that. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. So
I
yeah,
can't believe that I'm the low number again with a 9.
So I asked you. I'm sorry if I wasn't paying attention. I'm editing something, but what would keep you from giving it a 10?
Oh
I had
man.
little problems with Anakin's character, and not just that. There's just a couple little things, but I mean, I always leave a little bit of room for improvement. I guess it wasn't the best. A 10 would be Empire Strikes Back to me, and this was not that, but it was fucking great. So it's a 9.5.
Okay.
I'm back.
I don't know if I've ever given any episode of the Clone Wars a 10.
I think the one with where Palpatine fights Darth Maul and Savage Opress to me was a 10.
Okay.
That one is pretty good. It is pretty good. I'd have to rewatch it.
I was just interested to know because I think we're all in agreement with the episode, so I was just just wanted to see what's preventing y'all from going ahead a little
let's
bit.
put it this way:
10.
I don't even know if I would give The Empire Strikes Back a 10. I probably would give that a 9.5 because if I rewatch it and start nitpicking, I'd be like, yeah, I can dock you 0.5 for the nitpicks.
Well, I can't say I'll give The Empire Strikes Back a 10, but I am doing a watch along in a few weeks, so we'll see what I give it. But hold up.
I assume nostalgia adds points to that for me because when we grew up watching it, that I love it so much and it makes me feel good inside. But
right, you can weight your system for ranking movies however you like. That's entirely fair. I can get on board with that. And that's part of when you're giving your ranking, you got to give at least a little explanation of how it's sitting where it is. I mean, that's why I probably look at the prequels in a slightly better light because they have nostalgia for me whereas people who are older than me only have vitriol for those movies.
I like them both, but I don't know. Maybe I'm older than you. I'm
I'm
38.
32.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. You
Man,
sound older than me.
my ratings is whatever, but with TV shows, with movies, I'm a little bit hard on it. But TV is just like whatever. If you make me feel happy, you don't do any foolishness, you're gonna get a high rating.
I mean, I feel like a 9 is still good. I was wavering between a 9 and a
Oh, yeah.
9.5.
It's not like you was like, yeah, man, I get this episode of 6, and then we would have problems. I'm like, okay, what did we discuss for the past hour that making you say this is a 6?
Ooh, that would be rough to pull this one down. Like, if I probably could have got close to a 10 if I would have gotten an actual lightsaber duel. Like, they didn't have a lightsaber duel in the episode. There's a lot of lightsaber usage, but there's no lightsaber on lightsaber contact.
Yeah.
Like, that's a problem with the sequel trilogy, too. There's a lot of lightsaber usage, but there's not a whole lot of lightsaber on lightsaber contact.
Yeah,
because the fucking throne room scene, there's not a whole lot of lightsaber on lightsaber contact.
And it's crazy. And I know I hate keep talking about this watch along thing, but like just rewatching the movies and then like you see all the lightsaber contact in episode 3, like the tension between Yoda and Palpatine and Mace Windu and Palpatine and then Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's like, and then you hear the clashes, the music and all that stuff, and it's just like the Last Jedi, the throne room scene is just a bunch of choreographed dancing.
Or exactly, it's a bunch
where
of
they
don't
make contact unless it's a shot that someone fucked up.
Where you're sitting there wondering the whole time. I'm sitting there wondering, when the fuck is somebody going to use a force power? Like, are you kidding me? Like, in all of these other lightsaber duels, even going back to the original ones, you see people using force powers. Like, come on, just grab something off the ground to hit somebody in the back of the head so you don't have to attack him with your lightsaber just for a moment. It makes perfect sense, but we're not going to do that for that exact reason.
So, yeah, I definitely...
So, yeah, if there would have been a lightsaber duel in this episode, like if she would have started the duel with Darth Maul, then I probably would have got pretty damn close to a 10. That's the only thing that it's missing. I mean, it doesn't have, like, a space battle per se, but it does have a dogfight, so it counts.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're all in agreement this is a pretty solid episode, so I'm just going to get...
No, we don't agree with that. It's not a pretty solid episode.
It's amazing.
It's great.
There's nothing solid about this episode. Solid is The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
This is not solid, buddy.
This episode is...
I'm trying...
Definitely, this is the best one of the season, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Like,
I was just channeling my inner film critic.
Well, this is not a film.
Anyways, gosh, he was so precise. Yes, but we agree. This is an amazing episode. We all love it. Great stuff. It had it all. Some emotions, some lightsaber usage, cool battles, explosions, gender equality, all the stuff you need in a good show. But what I want to get to is the person behind the show. I want to talk a little bit about some bullshit that I heard. I want to get the panel's opinion, seeing as to we're at the end of talking about this episode. And Mr. Dave Filoni, not that I wear anything to tribute the man, the myth, and the legend in that league with Zod. Not that saying that we could possibly be brothers that don't know that we're
All right,
brothers.
get to the point.
Okay, so there's been some talks about Dave Filoni and some comments that he made in an article. I believe PB, you saw that on the Bridge Crew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I read through it.
And in it, some people have been accusing him of being part of the Disney machine because of some comments he made in the Art of the Rise of Skywalker book, where they're talking about the rise of Skywalker. And according to the comments, he agreed with some of the direction that was taken within that movie, not having to do with Clone Wars. All of those questions were separate opinions. They were specifically questioning about this, and some people got pissy and wrote some things about it.
Now, they were specifically questioning him on a potential storyline, specifically about this kind of character being Princess Leia and Rey, and whether or not what they should do with them, considering this trilogy is female focused. That's what the specific fucking question was, hey, we're focusing on females. What should we do with these females? So he answered the question, and people out there saying that, oh, he's getting woke are fucking stupid. Straight up.
Oh, so basically this is another one of those loaded questions by the media. Or somebody.
100% loaded question.
Oh. There's nothing to think about it, because if he would say, you know what, we have too many females, so we're going to focus on more males, then he would have got backlash for that.
Oh my God, Mary Sue would be on his ass.
You know what aggravates me? This is like calling him the Disney machine. He works on a show that Disney owns. He's part of the machine. Doesn't matter what you might think about them, he's part of it. It's like these idiotic Democrats that like to call people who are not progressive the establishment Democrats. You're all in the same party, people.
Yeah, it still says Democrat, and you still have that. What do they use? They use the donkey. Whatever.
Yeah, they use the donkey. I mean, Republicans have the rhinos.
Yeah, which is way cooler. But anyways, I'm not.
No, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Their animal is the elephant, but the not right-wingers in the Republican Party are called rhinos without the H, which stands for Republican in name only. Because they're progressives, like Mitt Romney.
Ugh, Mitt Romney. But yeah, so I feel like these questions are designed, and this is the first time you see this. How many people do you see that are actors and things like that? Some of them come out and they say stupid stuff all on their own, but you have some of those actors that are almost like cornered, and they're trapped in a question to where no matter how you answer the question, you're going to piss off someone, because they're specifically designed to trap the person in the statement.
Right, and it wasn't even a question from the media, LB. It was a question from somebody who works at Lucasfilm asking Dave how he would approach this particular storyline. That was it. And he answered the question. Everyone's, look at this. Look what Dave wanted to do with your Star Wars. He's just part of the fucking machine. And I was like, no, you guys are fucking dumb, because you didn't look at what the setup was. You just looked at the answer. They didn't say, hey, Dave, if you had total control of the sequel trilogy, what would you do with it? That wasn't the question at all. So you have idiots out there like RK Outpost and Lethal Lightning that say, hey, we caught him. I've been telling you for years, this is what Filoni is like. And I was like, you caught him what? You caught him answering a question of somebody else who wanted to make women the forefront, and how he would approach that? So you caught somebody else putting women forward and he answered their question? Wow, you're such a fucking investigative reporter.
So yeah, I've been asked that I'll probably do a stream with fan addicts. We're gonna talk about that because they want to get my take, but I think it's just fucking ridiculous. Like
People are
Dave
dumb.
Filoni, Dave Filoni has been, it seems like, under attack about everything, even before this.
He
Before
was
all of
under
this shit.
attack as soon as he started his TV show because it didn't line up with their precious books.
Yeah. So they could say tomorrow that that Dave Filoni did this, this, and this, and all of these wacky fucking EU people would come out of the woodwork saying, "I knew it, I knew it." Oh my God, EU! It's just like it's so ridiculous, and we've seen the same thing with the Wonder Woman when she got questioned like that and things like that, but. It's
Yep, you
and then
didn't see any of those people saying that Wonder Woman was getting woke.
Hey. Say her name. Her name is Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Yes, the beautiful and wonderful Gal Gadot.
Hey man.
She can be woke.
Just gotta stop paying these people attention, man. Like everything's woke.
It was
man.
recommended to me on Twitter.
Yeah, like everything's woke, man. Everything is woke. It's just old, man. It's so tiring. Like everything is not woke, man. You can find something woke in everything possible. Just like stop reaching people. Like come on, man. Y'all, like these people should know that these people get asked these questions and they gotta answer.
Oh my gosh. Like, so I went back because we just watched all of Schitt's Creek. So I told the wife that we had to go back and watch all of Stargate SG-1 because it's my favorite show of all time. And in the very first episode of this show, which is from 1997, the woman in the show says to the man, just because all my reproductive organs are on the inside and not the outside doesn't mean I can't do all the same things as you. And that was in 1997. I was like, whoa. Looks like Stargate's getting woke.
Hey,
22 years ago.
Hey, his response wasn't like, cool it, bitch, though, bro. I mean, because, I don't know what the response was.
His response was like, oh, geez, another scientist.
now he'd have to show respect. He'd have to be like, yeah, you're right. I will. I'm sorry. Ovaries not included.
No, because he was like, no, I like women. It's just scientists I have a problem with.
But it's like, because back in the 90s, it was just like pointing out that politics was in everything. These things are inherently in everything.
Oh my God. Back then, I mean, I don't remember what year it started, but I watched the Ellen DeGeneres sitcom that she had, and I didn't realize that even as a kid, it was a big deal that she was in an openly gay sitcom. I was like, yeah, there's gay people out there. Okay.
Yeah, see, the reason why this is at the forefront now is just because certain movies, certain products have overtly brought it to attention to the point of beating you over the head. Like right now, I'm getting ready to watch, I think it premieres tonight, but I'm getting ready to watch Penny Dreadful, Los Angeles. And it's one of my favorite shows.
Dreadful Los Angeles, though.
That looks terrible, by the way.
I've seen a commercial for it.
That looks woke. That looks woke.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
For my trailer review, I put City of Woke. But here's my problem with this. See, this is overtly woke. They have taken the civil rights movement and swapped races and used it for Mexican Americans. And I was like, do you know how disrespectful it is that you're using this for that particular movement? You are literally race swapping a whole entire movement and taking these people and just flip-flopping who that it happens to. And the thing that I liked about the original Penny Dreadful was it was a highlight on the supernatural, the monsters like Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. It was a twist on those characters, but now it looks like they put the politics first and the supernatural shit second. And so I'm going to do a review on the first episode, but my whole point being that is overtly woke. When you blatantly put that shit in the front as your story, as opposed to, you know, you market it one way as a supernatural thriller, but it's really a political thriller with politics coming first. You know, that's the difference. And I think people get that flip-flop when they mention something about women or they throw in a comment about that. That's going to be in everything. It's the degree that they're using it in that is the problem. Okay, if you base a whole show around it, annoyingly, that's woke to me. If you're just throwing in jabs here and there, that's just, you know, the person writing wanting to throw something in there really quick. You know what I mean? Or maybe the network's like, hey, we got to seem like, you know, we're with the plan. So they throw a throwaway line in so they could go, see, we got our little point in.
I mean, if the show is meant to be woke.
Oh, well, whatever.
Like RuPaul's Drag Race, like that's meant to be woke.
And oh man, that's just scary stuff. But yeah, I mean, so that's what grinds my gears about throwing it around for like Clone Wars and things like that. Yeah, sure. If you're looking for stuff, you're gonna find it. If you're looking really hard, you could find it in just about anything today, because that's just what's in the world now. But if you're looking for just watching the show for the show, you know, then you'd be all right. It depends on what they do it in and how they use it. I mean, not everything is propaganda. Some things are just what they put in there. I mean, 80s, 90s, all of the decades before had some kind of thing that was thrown in there. In any fucking show that you watch,
no, being woke is taking a hard left turn when you have William sit down the Green Arrow to let him know that he's gay.
Yeah.
And what does that add? See, and the things they put in, if it doesn't add to the story, then there's no point in having it. Like, what did that add to the story? Absolutely nothing. It's like, oh, okay.
All it adds is that it's okay to be gay.
Hey, I got a random question. Since you, when people post videos on the community tab, does it show? Do y'all see that at all?
Let me see. Did you post one?
I mean, I'm just asking in general. Do you ever see when someone posts a video on the community tab?
What's a community?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like it shows up. It shows up in my subscription feed. Sometimes it shows up on the homepage. Like I don't know the specific algorithm for it to show up there, but it does sometimes. Like if you say that you're live with somebody and you post it on your community tab, it shows up there. Or if Perp does it, I've seen it show up before.
Okay.
Like I've seen Zods on Perps on my homepage.
Okay.
That's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or something.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
So we've covered everything I'm going to cover. This has been a great sesh. So
a great sesh.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to be hip. That's how they say it. I'm sorry. I've been watching a lot of shows based in California. Let's go down.
I'm in Cali.
He's in Cali. He will tell you about Cali.
Yeah, I've been watching shows based in California too. It's called Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He told me earlier.
I've been watching Shameless and BoJack Horseman, some other stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna go down the line. Let you guys promo some stuff you got going on. So let's go to Mr. LB. What great and magical stuff do you have coming out of the Lonely Cave?
Well, actually, for once, I do actually have some things planned. I am working on Yoda is Trash finally.
Yeah.
I'm working on a Captain Marvel Civil War storyline for a movie. I'm going to premiere my finished Trash video tomorrow on my channel. It ain't gonna be anything new. It's gonna be basically part 1 and part 2 put together, but shortened a little bit. So that's going to be tomorrow. And in a few minutes, I'm going to be doing my live stream for the Michael Jordan documentary. So if any of y'all like basketball, come hang out with me while I do live commentary on the documentary.
Ooh, MJ. That's my boy.
What is the documentary on?
The 90s Bulls championship teams.
No, I meant like, what is it playing on?
Oh, ESPN and ABC.
Sorry.
Okay.
Nice. That definitely sounds awesome. The glory days. I stopped watching basketball after the 90s Bulls.
I was really hoping it wasn't going to be on when he owned the Bobcats.
He still does. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he still own them?
Doesn't he what? I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
I think he still owns the Bobcats, right?
Yeah, they call the Hornets now. They changed the name. Yeah. He still owns them. Yeah.
Oh,
but my next was going to say I'm a basketball
Hornets,
junkie.
right.
But, I love basketball.
Man, King Sloan, I ain't gonna give Yoda the smoke. I'm just gonna, give another point of view. It's gonna be like my Brie Larson video about being a Jedi. That's all. I ain't gonna go in on Yoda like I went in on Finn. That's a whole different kind of smoke there.
Oh man. Man, that's that Brie Larson video fucked me up for life. I especially hated the fact that the points you brought up, I was like, oh shit. He's right.
See, honestly, like those are the kind of videos I want to make. Like I like making those kind of videos. These make you like, okay, maybe he has a point here. Like make you think about things for a second. Yeah.
Man, I reevaluated all of my life that day. Mr. Kermit K-Log, Mr. Abrams, what do you got coming out? Who are you gender checking these days?
Hell, I this week I got a new PMS show coming out with some new jokes I wrote, and I got another video I'm gonna make that's gonna be the top 10 women in television characters.
Ooh. Pretty
A lot of them are from the Peaky Blinders, by the way, just to throw that out there. The Peaky Blinders, my favorite television show of all time.
We have to talk about that. Oh, that show is so great. Right now I'm on the season with Adrian Brody. And
man, that's the best. That's the best.
Oh, God. I never realized he was an actor.
Yeah, right. He's great in it, dude. But he's basically Robert De Niro in The Godfather, right? But this show is the Irish Godfather. It's the Irish Godfather, I love it, dude. And there's titties.
I mean, I look forward to the PMS show. Like those are hilarious.
Thanks, LB. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm just a black man trying to get some ribs.
Yeah, I'm just a frog trying to eat some pork,
or some chicken and some watermelon, whatever you want to put it.
Right.
And of course, the commander, the co-host, mi amigo, the person who keeps this shit going and keeps Zod in line most of the time, Mr. Pop Culture PB. Tell them about the new content you got going on, maybe about the stuff you're putting on over at Prophets of Geek Culture, things like that.
Yeah, sure. I'll drop a link to it in the chat right now. You can go to Prophets of Geek Culture and you can follow me and General Zod and Perp and Stevie J and Cybernetic Husky, and we bring you all kinds of news and reviews on anything pop culture without a bunch of bullshit sources like comicbook.com or Reddit being called facts per se. And then you can find me specifically at Pop Culture PB on YouTube and Twitter, where I can talk about Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and I do High Council highlights. But The next video that's coming out will be the next episode of MCU March Madness, which I don't know, will probably be tomorrow or the next day.
Ooh, aren't we getting like down to the line now, or are you still going through brackets? Because I'm like, holy
No.
shit, I never realized how long this thing is. There's a lot of movies.
It takes too long. The
It's like-
DC bracket will be much smaller.
And
'Cause I
much
was like,
easier.
Hey, but real quick, I'm sub to Prophets of Geek Culture, and I'm excited for what you guys got coming on, man.
Yo.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. It's yeah, speaking of which, that's a perfect moment to plug me. I do the comic book
Pause.
section. God damn it. I do the comic book section of the Prophets of Geek Cultures. I got reviews on Shattered Grid for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, an OG Power Rangers storyline, and just picture this. An evil Tommy mixed with the green and white Ranger. And he killed Rita Repulsa. You want to find out how fucking awesome that comic is? Come and check out my review.
Hold up. Power Rangers has comics.
Yes.
Wow.
The artwork is amazing, and the storyline is just outstanding. I honestly wish they'd take this version of Tommy and make like a live action, because him as Lord Drakkon is just fucking phenomenal. And like, yeah, he's a very broken Tommy. Like, it was like he made bad choices and embraced being the Green Ranger instead of turn away. And what would happen if he did that? So it's like an alternate timeline for the Power Rangers universe. But it includes every Rangers that has ever been in the storyline. It is some great stuff, and I've been doing reviews on it. Also, Fables, a little-known comic, but it was the reason that Grimm and a couple of other television shows were made based on this comic book, and The Wolf Among Us, which was a game. So I do a review on that and a couple of other different things, so go and check it out. Also, today I dropped some videos. I got an article on the Star from Billions and how she's come out for the genderless, non-binary people. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's a Newsweek article, too. So it's a legit paper that just doesn't ask about season 5. They just want to know about her being a non-binary actor in Hollywood. It's cringy. And also, I got some other great things coming out. Got some reviews coming out. I'm going to be doing my Westworld
That's
review.
a long plug, bruh.
Man, I've been working on video after video, so I'm going to drop like 4 or 5 of them. But anyways, keep it tuned in here. And, of course, Late Night Talks will be tomorrow night. It might be a shorter version because I'm running out of minutes. So we'll see. And we're going to do another Clone Wars next Sunday. So tune here on the channel. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Remember, the only rule here in the fandom car, kneel before General Zod.
No.
Nope.
Hell.